Guys, I have a girlfriend. Thank you. Look at her. You kidding me? And said girlfriend has a stepfather. When I filmed this video, his birthday was coming up and he's been very kind to me. So I wanted to get him something nice. Couldn't really think of anything. He said he's been wanting some art and stuff. So I devised a plan. I've been really into these texture paintings recently, and I just thought that would be a cool gift. I want to do kind of a lake texture painting because it's summertime, baby. We be going on the lake a lot. He has a boat and 2 jet skis. I wanted to put those in the painting, and I basically just wanted to do something a little sort of abstract looking, and then when you look closer at it, you see the details of everything. What am I, a puppet show? What is this? So I was on where I get all of my source of information, of course. I was on TikTok, and I saw an artist who goes to Home Depot and gets these. It's just a hardboard tempered panel. At the time that I got this, it was like 14 bucks for a huge panel. They put up a diagram of like this, and I changed some measurements around to fit what I wanted. So we have a big 48 by 30 section. That's gonna be the main panel that we use for this. And all you gotta do is slap some gesso on them and you can paint on them. So that's what I did. I got the boards and I excitedly got to work on my vision. I'm very tired because I spent like 5 hours gathering these supplies. I went to Home Depot. It's probably a horrible angle to have. Over here I have a bunch of panels. I went to Home Depot. This was one big 1/8 inch by 48 inch by 96 inch hardboard made in Brazil. That's cool. I didn't know that. I believe it's 48 by 30. These I'm going to use for other paintings because it's a lot cheaper than canvas. And then I got 2 wood pieces. They're 8 feet long, 1.5 centimeters thick. I don't know, dog. I'm tired. I had to do a lot of mental math about all this. Don't even get me started. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just go ahead and time lapse me setting this up. Yeah, anything you want to say? Okay, very nice. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I filmed this a while ago, and I don't quite remember the measurements for some of this. For those 2 pieces of wood, I didn't just cut them to be like 2 48-inch long pieces and 2 30-inch long pieces. I believe that those planks were 2 inches wide. So I think I cut 2 46-inch long pieces in 2 28-inch long pieces. So that way when they meet at the corners, the width of the board compensates. You're not an idiot. I don't need to explain that too long. And then I got my drill out. I did put down a layer of wood glue, and then I screwed directly into the panel all the way through into the plank. I got screws short enough to where it wouldn't poke through the back of the plank, because I think the plank was only like 1.5 centimeters thick or something like that. I don't know. I did that around all 4 sides, layer of super glue, and then I think I put like 6 screws in each side or something like that. The base of the frame is done. Somehow I messed up on a couple little measurements. So there's little gaps like here and down in that corner. So I just cut a little extra piece, shoved it in there, and then just filled it with wood glue. And there's a man leaf blowing right outside my window right now. It's a lot less wobbly now. You can kind of see, even with this one, which is half the size of this, you can see how just wobbly and floppy it can be. So with this frame, it's solid. The only downside of this is that the screws that I got, they are not sitting flush at all. They are popping up quite a bit, but since this is going to be a textured piece, I'm not worried about it because there's just going to be texture over it anyway. So now I got some hanging wire and a couple extra screws, and I'm going to try and figure out some way to, I want this to sit like flush on the wall, right? I'm going to try to figure out some way to put a wire in here so then it'd be able to sit flush on the wall. Yeah, I picked the literal worst possible angle to record this from because I like to have fun sometimes. What's that? You can't at all see what I'm doing? Well, I'm about to explain. I have these like wall hangers. So you're supposed to like nail them into the wall like this, but I just flipped them upside down. So now they're like hooks.
See if we can get a good shot on that. So I just nailed them in upside down and then wrapped the wire around it. So now there's the wire here. So I think, you know, if you put 2 screws into the wall, then it'll hang like that. So I think that'll work just fine. All right, now what? All right, it's pretty windy out here, but I'm gonna wipe this down a little bit, get some of that dust off there. Now I'm gonna spray on some gesso. I've never used spray on gesso, but I feel like it's gonna be way easier. So it's not like an even coat. Obviously, it's pretty splotchy, but I'm not really worried about that because literally all this is gonna get covered. I just wanted to make it not such a, you know, slick surface for when I'm painting on it. All right, I am very nervous. So I'm gonna show you some of the supplies that I have right now. So there is a medium that you can get called like a texture modeling base acrylic or something like that. But I'm gonna use this. It's painter's acrylic caulk. So I think it's meant to like seal in cracks in a wall or something, and then you can paint on it. It's made out of acrylic. I mean, if my theory is correct, I think it's pretty much the same thing as the other stuff. The other stuff in like the tub is like pretty expensive. This stuff is like $2 for a tube. So I have like 5 tubes. So what my idea is, I got these 2 bowls. I got some paint because it's supposed to be more of like a lake rather than the ocean. So I think I'm gonna do like a green, like a greenish blue for the water. So I'm only gonna start with 2 tubes and see what that's like. See how much ground I'm able to cover with that. See, look at this. This is already so much. I feel like this would be like half of one of those tubs that I could have gotten. And that was what, $4? 10.1 fluid ounces, 300 milliliters. I'll do the math later. And this is the math of the cost of this versus the cost of getting that tub. I also got these like $2 cake icing things. And then I'm just gonna use some acrylic paint. I was just gonna put the texture on and then paint it later, but I think I can get some like cool swirls and stuff if I do it like this. I'm imagining greenish blue water with reflections of like very blue. I don't know. We'll just see how it turns out. This does look like icing. It does look delicious. Dude, my hands are cramping up from this. It's not horrible. All right, here we go. Should have painted this like a base color. Yeah, I definitely should have done some sort of base color. Too late.
I was saying that I should have done an undercolor to this instead of having it be white, because then that way when I'm spreading it on, and if there's a spot where some white is poking out, instead of it being white, it would have been like a darker green or a darker blue, and it would have like blended better. That way when I'm spreading it, I wouldn't have to be so careful making sure that every little spot is completely covered and no white is showing through.
Yeah, I might just do a little bit more green sprinkle then. I do have 1 more tube. I do want to save some for some white effects that I want to do, I think. So I think I definitely need more green over here. Like I literally just want to like sprinkle some more green in around here. I want a little bit more dimension. So I'm trying to mix up just like some different form of a greenish blue. I guess that's a little different. Maybe just like some highlights in there. Just kind of see what happens. But it is feeling a little bit like one of those situations where you just don't know where to stop. I think that'll be all that I add. I think that's all I can do. I think anything else might be just a little too much. Now, so I know for certain I'm gonna paint a boat and then like 2 jet skis. So I'm just gonna do kind of like a, make this just like a little smoother, just so I have like a good spot to paint the boat. Just gonna trickle that in there. And then 2 jet skis. these. Do one like here. One over here. Just kind of slightly smooth out where I'm going to paint them. I might have like another boat over here. Maybe something there. Maybe something like here. All right. Now I think I need to let this dry for like 24 hours probably a little longer. All right. Yes, I bleached my hair again to try and fix my roots, and now I have two-tone hair. Forget about it. Everyone's been pointing at me going, oh, two-tone clay, two-tone clay. Now what? Is that, whoa. Has like a weird echo coming off of it. We're gonna keep painting now. What else do you want from me? So for some reason, I didn't start recording when I started painting. The boat that he has is a pontoon boat, one of those like square boats. I don't have an exact picture of his boat, so I blocked in the sides of the boat. For scale, this is my thumb, so that's the size that I'm painting at right now. Looking at that on the camera, it just looks like a blotch. I'm not trying to get like too into detail because you kind of can't. I'm mainly just trying to get the shapes and stuff. So I have the main boat. I have two of the kids on a inner tube, and then I have two of the kids on jet skis. This is incredibly hard to paint at this scale. Just look how massive this is. Like I showed you before, it's literally like the size of my fingertips. It's a little hard and frustrating, but we're getting it done. I'm gonna go ahead and just put some more boats around here. Hopefully try and finish it tonight.
So I didn't really explain how I was painting these little boats. Basically, I had an image of a boat that I was looking at for reference, and instead of focusing on little details, I just did some kind of splotches of color. As long as you have the splotches of color in a certain shape, your brain will recognize it as a boat. And another thing is, and this is just advice for any project that you're working on, when you have a reference photo and you're looking at it and you're like, this isn't coming out like the reference photo, this looks worse than the reference photo, you're the only one looking at the reference photo. When someone else is looking at your art, your picture, or whatever you're doing, they're just seeing that. They're not seeing that compared to the reference photo. So what does it matter if it doesn't look like the reference? My microphones are dead, so sorry if the audio sounds weird. I went ahead and painted the ships. Since they're so small, that's my pinky. Since they're so small, I tried to do a like time lapse, and it just kept going out of focus because they're so little. But yeah, so I got some ships on here. I think that's about all I'm gonna do, honestly. I don't want to do too many. So now I'm going to take some more of the acrylic caulk that I have, and I'm just gonna do some like lines of just like the white acrylic caulk around some of this, and then that will be kind of the white cap waves. I think it'll look nice. So this was really good. I'm really glad I did it. Just kind of putting some of the white on the caps of the waves and the trails of the boats and stuff, it really elevates it from just being like smeared on paint to looking more like waves, I think. I didn't have full faith in the little nail things that I put back here, so I just kind of covered it with some JB Quick Weld just to kind of make it stronger, so that is not going anywhere. All right, so I'm pretty sure everything's done. Daisy's crying inside. I'm just gonna spray like a gloss clear coat on it. I just think that it would look better if it was a little bit glossy. I don't want it to be like crazy glossy, but since it is water, it's like so matte right now. I just feel like that it would look better if it was glossy. So I just have a Rust-Oleum clear gloss.
I can't really tell what looks glossy and what doesn't. Oh, please don't drop it. I will say you probably can't tell, but it does look cooler with a little bit of a gloss on it. It is subtle, which is what I want. But yeah, it does definitely look cooler. I'm trying to see if it's like even all across or if there's like stripes. Yeah, that looks pretty even, I think. I'm kind of looking at like the glare from the light, just trying to see where it could use more of. Like right here, I see a strip. And right here, I see one. I think that's good. Just do one last little dusting. So I don't know how well you can tell. Now it's got a little bit of gloss on it, and I think it looks much better. You can kind of see, you see how my hand's kind of reflecting off of it, but not like too glossy to where like there's a massive glare coming off of it. You know what I mean? Now we need the frame. Unless something crazy happens, I think we're about to finish this today. I went to Home Depot and I got some like wall trim. I want to put a frame on this, but I want the frame to be like low key. So I'm kind of just going to put this around the sides, but I think that it's just what this needs. Also, these were the cheapest ones I could find, and they were the perfect width of the sides. So I think I'm going to stain these a little bit darker, and then I'm going to try and cut 45-degree angles freehand on them and do all that. Ignore the absolute mess. So I have absolutely zero gloves. So we're going to try and be as clean with this as possible. I probably have some foam paintbrushes somewhere, but alas, I have no idea where they're at. This is the same stain that I used for the TV stand that I built. So fun fact on that. Hey, I knew I had some somewhere. Oh, I probably should have sanded them a little. Yeah, I should sand them a little. I'm just using a 320 just to get a quick, because they're not too bad. They just need a quick little sand. This is like very thin wood. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Might do 2 coats, might not. Who knows? Yeah, I think that's actually kind of cool. I tried doing my jigsaw, and it's just kind of tearing it up, just because it is pretty soft wood. I think I'm just gonna try and just sand it down, just see if I can get it at least close. So now, you know, that's a better 45-degree angle. I'm doing the best with the tools I got. So slight problem. Yeah, these would have, I think these would have came out better if I would have, like, you know, chewed it off with my bare teeth. These came out horrible. Definitely gonna have to go get wood filler now. So the math worked, which is awesome. Or actually, no, it didn't at all. How did I think I figured it out. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. What was kind of happening was, because I was doing it with like a hand sander, instead of them being sanded straight, they were being sanded like kind of curved weirdly. I have no idea, but I was able to get them good enough to where I can kind of squeeze together and put some wood filler on. Oh, I just realized my mic's not plugged in. Can you hear me? Okay. Using hand tools is probably like the worst way to possibly do this. Made it a lot harder, but we chose to go to the moon, not because it is easy, because it is hard. Also, dude, it's hotter. It's hotter than something else outside, I'll tell you what. And yeah, we're gonna attach the frame with super glue. What of it? I am using the gel super glue. Dude, guys, switch to gel super glue. It's so much better. It doesn't run all over the place. It stays exactly where you want it to be. Yeah, we're just gonna put a liberal amount. Just really trying to not get it on the painting at all. I hate it when super glue freaking does this, dude. Like, it just for some reason, this section just won't stick. Makes zero sense. This all is like pretty good on there, but for some reason, just this section right here just will not stick. I don't understand that. It looks nice though with the frame on it, huh? At least so far. It has so much glue on it. Why would it not stick? Onto the second tube of super glue. This corner down here is way too long. We're gonna hope that helps. And we'll hope that they don't notice this. I'm joking, I'm joking. That side, fine. This side, not fine. Crap. I do have some files. Oh, where did I put the files? Ah, release the files. I have some literal Dollar Tree files. I feel like I'm trying to like break out of prison. Right now I hear a fly. A big off fly. I'm willing to bet that like Galileo or someone jerry-rigged frames like this. So I'm actually on the same plane as Galileo, actually. Who would have thought that the hardest part of this would be the frame? Not me, dude. Dude, how's it getting worse? Power tools inside. Let's see if I just made that demonstrously worse. I might be able to accept that. We'll try it. Dude, this super glue is like gushing out. Dude, the globs the size of Texas are coming out of this tube right now. Dude, that fly just flew right past my face. He is trying to mess with me, but I'm not gonna let him get to me. All they want is to see me fail. That's why they sit there spy. I'm genuinely losing my mind right now. You know what? You know what I might do? Oh, that's actually a good idea. Just to reinforce it a bit. Okay, I didn't film this because I didn't think about it. And I had to move quickly because I was scared. I put JB Quick Weld just kind of along. I tried to shove it up in between the two pieces and kind of put it up in there. And then I'm using some tape to really just hold it down. This takes about 15 minutes to set, about an hour to cure. I'm scared to mess this up. And there's a fly flying around. And it's a really loud fly. Going like it's so loud. It's the loudest fly I've ever heard in my life. So I'm slowly just like yeah.
Here I'm putting in some wood filler into the cracks of the corners. Pretty simple, just taking some wood filler, putting it on my finger, shoving it down in there. That's crazy. That's crazy that you just did that, Clay. Anyways. And then I'm kind of doing a general smooth out of it, but I'm gonna sand it later anyway.
Okay, it's been sitting for a little over an hour because I've been sorting my Pokemon cards. And now I'm just gonna go back in with my files and just kind of careful. I'm gonna use a little 320 grit. Yeah. That's pretty okay, I say. Now we're gonna apply a little bit of stain very carefully and try not to get it on the painting. Oh my god, that looks great. Dude, nice. Blend it out. That is not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. I think that's just good enough to where if no one says anything about it, you'll never notice it. In the camera, it looks way darker, but in real life, it blends pretty well, I think. Dude, that is not bad at all. Are you kidding me? Look at that. There we have it. Pretty big painting. I am very happy with how this turned out. It's very satisfying to touch. This turned out almost exactly like how I imagined. I love how kind of like from afar, it looks kind of just like a weird abstract painting. And then when you look closer at it, you see the details of the little people on little boats. And it's kind of like a metaphor for how, I don't know. I'm very happy with it, and I'm excited and nervous to give it to my girlfriend's stepfather. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you like this video. If you like me, make sure you subscribe. You can see a whole lot more of me. I do cool stuff like this all the time. All the time. That's all I do. That's what I do. I think that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.